Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Yes, we are doing a back-to-back video because I just posted yesterday. We are not waiting another month, so that should probably tell you something, because I know a lot of times I came on here talking about, oh, I'm gonna be consistent. Yeah, that didn't really happen, but like that is in the past. That is in the past. Okay, so welcome to my video. The title is How to Stay Grateful in the Waiting Season. Girl, if you are in your waiting season, I know it's tough because literally I have been in the waiting season, it feels like, for a good 5 months now. That's a lie, but I feel like I've definitely experienced the waiting season a few times this year, and I'm trying to look at it from a different perspective, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how to do that, how to just apply lots of gratitude to your life, because literally it's the only way so that you don't crash out, so that you don't feel like punching the air all the time, like, or a wall. Yeah. The waiting season teaches you so much. I think a lot of people look at it from perspective as like, oh, why is it taking so long, and I just want to get to where I need to get, and yada yada yada. It's more just like a race, it feels like, and hence why it's called a waiting season, is because you're waiting, but during that season you're learning so many things that you need in order to get to where you need to get. God is not going to bless you just like that. Like, he's not going to bless you when you don't have the right tools that you need in order for you to receive that blessing. Clocked it. Usually if something hasn't happened yet, it means that it's just not time. It means that he has something better in store, and sometimes it's just not for you, and that is totally okay. We don't want to admit it, but sometimes it's definitely okay. Why we want something that's not for us? So yeah, I'm gonna tell you exactly how to stay grateful, and enjoy the video. Now, the waiting season, in my opinion, could also be named the just listen and learn season. When I say just listen and learn, literally sit still with yourself and work on the things that need to be worked on. I feel like a lot of this year, I just had to work a lot on consistency and dedication, but also trying to understand what I want to look forward to in my life, and how am I going to get there. A lot of times we just don't want to wait the course, and I feel like the big theme of this year was definitely patience. Okay, a lot of times you just want to do everything so quickly instead of just waiting, but when you do things in due time, you have the right proper tools. If you just rush everything, then it's gonna come out sloppy. Quality over quantity. Like, literally, you want your quality to be the best quality ever, but you also have to take your time with it. Take your time. Plants do not grow overnight. We as humans do not grow overnight. We develop over time. And I find myself literally always wanting things so quickly. And this is why it's kind of hard to be consistent sometimes, because you want it to happen. You want the result to happen so quickly because you just need to see it right away in order to believe that it's going to happen. But a lot of these blessings, the bigger the blessing, the longer it takes. There was some video on TikTok, and she was basically saying, like, obviously with the bigger the blessing, the longer the wait. But she was saying, like, if somebody orders a salmon, right? It's probably gonna take like 20 minutes. And let's say I order a filet mignon, like, it's gonna take a minute. It's gonna take a minute to cook. So obviously, if this person wants to do this, where you want to do something extremely big, and that other people that did the same thing or accomplished the same thing as you aspire to accomplish, that it takes years, right? So things are different, timelines are different, and this is your time to really just listen and learn what you need in order to get there. You need a whole bunch of time, And God is literally saying, here's the time. I'm providing you the time to learn the things that I need you to learn. If you need to learn patience, then learn patience. If you need to learn how to not procrastinate, learn to procrastinate. You know, God's probably just saying, like, I need you to be more, I need you to be more resilient. I need you to be more passionate. I need you to have more faith. You literally cannot receive things without faith. And that is something I also learned a lot this year. You have to have faith in things that you cannot see. So as much as you may be waiting and you may feel like, damn, like I don't feel like anything is happening right now, there are certain things you can do. But at the end of the day, you can't force things at the same time. You know, I think a lot of times we're looking for the quick fix all the time. Like, what can I do? What can I do? Just make something shake, to make something happen so I can get out of this waiting season. Sometimes God is still like, even if you're trying to make things shake, you know, I still need you to learn these tools. I need you to gain these tools. We are not on, you know, we're not on my time. We're not on your time. We are all on God's time, period. So that is a better perspective on how to look at the waiting season. Just listen and learn, because God is telling you something. God is telling you, you know, this hasn't happened yet because you haven't learned this yet. And you're probably like, what? There's so many tests. Why is there so many tests? Like, trust me, I be trying to pass the test too. I'm tired. I graduated college, but this is life, you know, and life comes with tests to build us and make us stronger. It equips us for what we really are asking for. Sometimes we don't even realize the weight and the things that we are asking for. We may think that it is like 50 pounds, but really it's probably like 300. Like, it's not easy to carry. And God is not going to give us things that we are not ready to carry yet, because then we will literally fall to the floor. Why would we want something when we're not ready for it? So I think about it like that. And it's hard too, especially when you feel like other people are moving in a pace and you feel like you're just here when everybody is just like climbing. Trust me, it sucks feeling like the one that's behind, you know, but you're not really behind unless you're comparing yourself. And trust me, it's so hard to, you know, people say, oh, comparisons lead joy. It is. But let's be real, like, it's hard to not compare yourself. We all kind of do it in some way. But you have to understand that your path is your path only. We are not in a race. This is literally like a jog. We are jogging down the road. And that's okay too. But it's hard when you are around, you know, people and you just feel like, oh, well, I don't have nothing much to say about what's going on in my life. You know, but there is a lot going on. You have so much to be blessed for. You really do. And I think what's helped me is really repeating the things that I do have in my life right now. Seriously, like, I think about the things I have in my life. I think about the seasons where I was thriving. And I'm like, wait, but I had a season of thriving. Like, I'm still thriving today. Even if I'm waiting, I still am thriving. You know, because I'm not just forcing things. I'm working my butt off, but I'm still allowing God to work behind the scenes. I remember there was a time where I was just really stressed out about a job. And mind you, I graduated. I technically finished college in December 2024. Mind you, I know people that have been applying for months. And, you know, it's just, life is lifing sometimes. But I remember in July, even though I was living my dream, like, I was filming, I was really happy. In July, there was just something that wasn't fulfilling me, and it was the fact that I didn't have a job. And I think it was mainly just like, I was just like, why do I feel like I keep on getting rejected? Why do I feel like, you know, I just need a job. I just need a job. And so I prayed to God about getting a job. And literally, the next day, I got my job acceptance. Now, here's the kicker. I'm about to quit this job. What I'm really trying to say is, though, even though I'm about to quit this job, is that basically I learned so many tools that I needed in order for me to progress in my life. And I talked a little bit about this in my last video, but I learned how to be a better, I learned how to have a better conversation. I learned to not overthink conversation because I used to have really bad social anxiety, especially before this job. Because I work in customer service and I'm doing this 6 days a week, I am forced to talk to people even when I really don't want to. And so that is something I had to do, and that's something I'm gonna have to do even more, especially considering the career that I want. Another thing that I learned was patience, because obviously you're dealing with customers. Now before, I've been working customer service for like 6 years, working at retail stores and working at restaurants, but I've never worked 6 days straight, 8 hours a day. And so it's hard when you have to literally like learn how to be patient for 8 hours straight while talking to people, and really when you really want to say what's on your mind, you really can't. Like, it's so difficult. But yeah, like I just be trying my hardest, and I look back on the mistakes that I did make when I first was there, and I learned from those mistakes, and I'm like, okay, well, right now I am allowing my ego to take control over the situation. I feel like I had to say what's really on my mind just to prove a point to this person. Now I'm really like looking at myself like, okay, you don't need to prove a point to this person. The best thing you can do is take accountability and be aware of certain issues that you, or flaws, I don't know, certain flaws that you may have. Like, I now just realized that my ego kind of takes over sometimes. And I started just being like, you know what, let them, think that, especially if I'm wrong, I apologize when I'm wrong. I take ownership when I'm wrong. If they are actually wrong, I'm like, you know what, it's fine. It's fine. You don't need to prove anything, So I learned the skills and tools that I needed. I feel like I took what I could, and it's helped me grow as a person. This may feel like a waiting season because this is not kind of like fulfilling me, honestly, but I learned from it. And so this is why I'm grateful for it. I'm very grateful for it. So yeah, didn't mean to hit you with the gotta quit soon, but yeah, that's all I have to say for that example. So yeah, this is not a season of waiting, but if you change your perspective, it is a season of preparation, sanctification, and self-improvement. How are you going to progress as you? A lot of the experiences in our life shape us to be better than we were before. So I think the more you wonder like why you're waiting so long, you kind of have to really dissect yourself, and you start to really realize the flaws in what these certain experiences, what is you waiting like teaching you right now. Even when you're waiting, like even when we were in the pandemic, I kid you not, because we were waiting, like, we didn't have much to do. That was the time when I really got to dissect Brooke, like, and journal every day. And I saw the difference from before the pandemic to the end of the pandemic. And I kid you not, I went to therapy. I was doing online acting classes. I was really just trying to better myself. I got into my dream school. I was journaling every day. I came out a better person. I was saying, like, I was so shy, such social anxiety, and I came out better because I was just really like, okay, I need to fix this. And not being perfect, because we're not perfect. It's like, what can you work on? I know I wanted to work on talking to people more and having, stop using my social anxiety and, I guess letting it control my life. So I just really was like, you know what, this is a flaw I'd like to work on more. Not be perfect, not fix it, because flaws are flaws, and you have to be, grateful for your flaws. But I just saw that it was kind of making me sad as a person, so I worked on it. There are so many things you can work on in this season. Do you have time management skills that you need to work on? How can you start getting to work earlier? How can you start being more disciplined? How can you start being more respectful? How can you stop being so blunt in wrong situations? How can you actually be more in control of your life? You are literally the writer, director of your life. You have one life. One life. God is giving you certain chances of peace. Sometimes if you ever are in your waiting season, do you recall ever like asking for peace? I know I did. I was so burnt out with my 3 million jobs that I asked for peace. And sometimes we're in our waiting season, but it's really just because we ask God for peace. Sometimes we forget what we ask for and we're living in our prayer right now. This is the blessing right now. God is giving us this time and peace to do something right now. I asked God to give me the time that I needed so that I could focus on my projects because my jobs were kind of getting in the way. So I am grateful that I have the time. I also pray for energy so that I'm not as tired when I come home so I could accomplish those goals. He's giving me the energy. I went from being tired to now doing the things I needed to do. But I think honestly it's something to be appreciative because that means that something next is going to be even bigger and better. Enjoy the process instead of forcing it. And God is making you wait for a reason. You may see it as a punishment, but change that perspective and realize God is, see it from God's perspective. He's trying to prepare you. Preparation, baby. Preparation. Okay? Don't forget that.
How do I deal with rejection? I'm dealing with a lot of rejection right now. That makes me feel very small.
If nobody wants you, you're free. If nobody wants you, you're free. Like, I'm a sister stand. Throughout that entire year, she may have been feeling like nobody wants her. Like she's been maybe was feeling like she was small. I remember reading some article where she asked like certain artists to feature on her album and they just didn't send anything in. And she ended up being a Grammy Award winner. Winning so many awards. It was this year. This year was her year. This year was her year. I don't know if it was last year or this year. Either way. Whatever. She had her year, is what I'm trying to say. And so the waiting season may be full of rejections and disappointments, but I love literally just reminding myself that every rejection is God's protection. Things that are not for you, like, why would you want them? Anything that is for you will not miss you. You're free, baby. Okay? Be okay with it. And honestly, I feel like rejections push you to go harder. It's like, what, I'm getting rejected. I have to go harder. I have to take risks. I have to chase after opportunities because they're not gonna come to me just like that. They're not gonna come to you just like that. You gotta go after it. Value the important things that we have in front of us instead of like the things that we want as well. But please chase after opportunities that you truly do want. It forces us to like get up and look at what you can contribute to the waiting season. What in this season can I do with my time while I still value what I do have right now? I think the beautiful thing about rejections is that although we may get rejected, we think, I'm still protected. I'm still blessed because I have this, I have this, I have this. I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. So are you really are you suffering in a way because you got rejected? No, you're not. A lot of times, if you look back on the things that you were rejected from, you're still okay today. You're not dwelling on that job that you didn't get a year ago. And then sometimes I realize, like, I don't even think about that shit because I thought I needed it in the moment, but I really did not. I'm okay now. And would that job had like helped me progress in the way that I really desire to? Probably not. So I believe, and this is like physical proof that everything happens for a reason. The waiting season does not imply just wait around and sit on your ass and do something. Nothing. Like, it does not mean that. It means patience while putting your best foot forward. Like, that your hard work within yourself, whether that's physical or mental, like, God will see what you're doing. He sees what you're doing regardless. He knows what you're thinking. And you will say, you know what? You know, he'll let you know when you're ready. He'll let you know when you're ready. Hands down. I feel like a tip that I would give for y'all is to write down what you pray for. Because sometimes we do forget, but I truly know that the things that we pray for, we have to be very specific with God. When I pray for peace, did I mean like for it to be stagnant? No. You know, but this is part of the process. And honestly, like, my life is not even as stagnant as I probably claim it to be. I have so much to be blessed for. I may not be doing all the things I want, but sometimes it's truly because we're never satisfied. You know, we're not always satisfied. We can look at our past seasons. We're like, I was thriving. I was doing all this. I was busy. I was booked. I was yada, yada, yada. And so you look at current season and you compare it to that past season. You're like, oh, wait, why do I have so much time on my hands? Like, no. You asked for this. This is for you to do what you need to do and assess so I can get you to the next step. So be grateful for that and count your blessings. Be grateful, baby. Be grateful. It's like, be grateful, count your blessings because you have so much to be blessed for. And yeah, this is actually one of my favorite videos because I think it just really needs to be talked about more. And just so you know that you're not alone. You're not alone. Even if you feel like you are, you're not. You are not. Okay? Okay. So other than that, I hope you did enjoy this video as much as I did. And I will see you guys in the next video, of course. Have a good night.